Yeah, perfect. All right. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Yeah, we're going to go. What's up, everybody? It's Kristin Gutierrez with the Kristin Gutierrez podcast. And today I'm very excited to have my new friend and just somebody who's a total badass in the real estate game. Her name is Dana Fights, and we're going to welcome her. And then she's going to introduce herself, and we're just going to have a little chitty chat about how you got into like the things that you do in real estate and what lights your soul on fire. Go ahead.
Awesome. I love that. Well, thank you, Kristen. I'm really excited to be part of this. So thank you so much for having me. So yeah, I am Dana Number Fights. I am here in Southern California and I am a title insurance rep. And just I've always been somebody that loves to communicate with people, share knowledge, grow with others. And yeah, that's who I am.
I mean, but like, here's the thing. Well, two things. A, what did you say about your name? Because before we recorded, I was like, oh, it's Dana Fights. And that was cute. Like,
Oh, yeah, yeah. So I used to be Dana Delmer. Now Delmer is my middle name, and I married into the last name of Fights. And I'm like, gosh, that'd be such a perfect last name if I was like an attorney or something, where it's like I'd fight for you. But what I do right now, I mean, fighting for your title insurance, I don't know, it doesn't have the same ring. But I married a man who his last name is Fights, and I called him out. I'm like, you've never been in a fight, have you? Like a physical fight. And he's like, "No, but I would if I had to." And I love that about him. I'm like, I don't like fighters. I like lovers. So I'm a lover.
sweet. Well, I mean, that's also your personality because the other thing I was going to say is like some people say that they network and then they get out there. And there's like a few people in my life. I'll shout out my best friend, Carrie Freeman. She's a very successful yacht charter broker, like grew from 0 to a million, like a million X is what I mean because of hard work and tenacity and like stick to itiveness and like the connectiveness. I've got a good work colleague friend named Stacy Lauren. She is like a people connector through and through. And in the short amount of time I've known you, what, like 2 months, right? 52 days, maybe.
Feels longer for sure.
Everybody knows you. And like I walk in a room where you are and you're literally talking to every single person and like you're helping people that you don't even know per se or that you haven't even done real business with yet, and you're giving referrals and you're giving leads and you're giving reports. And I just wanted to compliment you and like recognize, I know you said this is who I am, but like you really are that person. It's so cool.
You. That is so sweet of you. I really appreciate you saying that. Like I think I was just raised that way, my dad was always communicating with people and like every time we would go he used to be an alcoholic and then he stopped drinking. So he replaced it with Starbucks coffee and we would go to Starbucks all the time, get coffee and hang out. He was an entrepreneur, so he didn't have to work in an office all the time. And so like I would just hang out with him, go to Starbucks and see him talking to everybody. And that became me with him. And it just kind of rolled into my future. And yeah, just I think that we all have so much to share, so much knowledge, and so much to learn, and so much to grow from one another that it's just like natural for me to want to connect people just because they're top of mind, I think. And I think like just everyone says you want to help people. I think for me, I'm just like, I just want to like connect people and learn from people and have them use their knowledge that they have to better others. And I guess that is helping people, but I just think of it as like, hey, this person can help here. Why not connect them with this person? Like they have a problem and they have a solution. Let's just put them together. It just seems like the obvious thing to do to me.
My gosh. Okay, I wanted to ask you about your dad because I think your dad is partially why were telling me you got into title to begin with. Isn't that
So,
true?
yeah, I have my blood related father who passed away. That is like was my entrepreneur, like the love of my life guy that I love so much. And he's gone, but he imprinted in me so much resilience and so many beautiful things. My basically stepfather, who I also adore, came into my life about 20 years ago. He's been with
Mhm.
my mom since, and he is the person that got me into what I do now as a title rep. And I'm so grateful for him because at the time, I've always been in hospitality. I've worked in hotel and restaurant management. I worked at Fleming's. I worked at Marriott. And when I was at Marriott, I was doing really well, like, on paper, like, I was really successful for, contracts that I did for events, but I didn't feel, like, very happy, and I felt like it wasn't the right fit for me, and my father, he ended up helping me because he was in the real estate realm, and he's like, "You know what? You'd be a great title rep." And I have said, "What's a title rep?" And he's like, "Well, it's really hard for me to explain what they do on a daily basis, so let me introduce you to mine." So I called his title rep, talked to him for 45 minutes, and he said, I can't, he said, "I can't even tell you what I do. Let me just take you out for a day and show you what I do." So I went out for a half day because I was still working my other job, and I got to go around all these real estate offices and meet all these realtors. And I learned what I get to do is try to help people grow their businesses, right? In order to earn their trust on my end. And I'm so grateful because once I went out for that half day, they ended up saying, like, "You know what, we want you to, you need to be the title rep with us." And that's kind of how it all started.
My gosh. Oh, I love that. I love it because obviously we pick up characteristics like this is the whole nature versus nurture debate, right? With humans. And you picked up a lot of like the gift of gab, which doesn't have any negative connotation, but like that whole networking concept really truly from your biological dad. And then because you're so open and curious as a human, you remained curious when your stepfather suggested something that was kind of like maybe felt like a far left turn, but it's still, it sounded like maybe you were burnt out or just not feeling fulfilled anymore in your corporate traditional like event planning jobs, and that you got to do a half day car ride with this other title rep. And, here you are now. How many years ago was that?
That was almost 9.5 years ago. I know. Crazy. Everything.
Oh,
I'm so grateful I took that leap. I have to say, all of the people I knew in Marriott thought I was crazy to leave my comfortable salary benefit career, right? And when I told them that I was going to become a title rep, they offered me different positions and so much more leniency and work from home or whatever, right? And I have already made a decision. I'm going to do this, and they said, "If you fail, you always have a job here." And I'm so glad I took that leap because even though, certain people didn't believe, like, honestly, that I would make it in this, I it was the best decision I ever had. And when you think about it, not only was I able to do something that I really do love and work outside and meet these amazing people like you and so many others, but also if you think about it, I left a few years before COVID happened. I used to work in the hotel industry. So that completely like shut down for a few years. And you just never know what's gonna happen, but I feel like you gotta follow your gut, and you gotta take the chances, and we don't know what the future holds, but it was definitely meant to be for me to leave and take that risk for multiple reasons, and 1, my job wasn't gonna
oh.
be there, and 2, it was a better opportunity even if it stayed open the whole time in the Marriott, so, yeah.
I mean, I'm getting like the chills all over my body because title and me being a realtor is how we got connected, but the thing that you're talking about has nothing to do with it. It's really the underlying message that you're talking about, which is like trusting your gut instinct and taking that leap of faith even when you probably had some internal doubts that were created, well, probably naturally, but then also were exasperated by these external people that like, and trust, your colleagues, obviously not in this case your stepdad, but nonetheless, like, people I always say they mean well, but sometimes they say that one thing, "Oh, you're if you when you fail," and you're like, "Whoa,
Yeah.
never even that thought never crossed my mind," and now all of a sudden you're, like, subconsciously like, "Oh my god, what if this isn't the right decision?" But you stayed true to your true north, to, like, your gut instinct, and then 10.
So there is another piece to this story that I think is pretty important that I didn't mention. So my dad, when I was 18, he got diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer. And he was such an amazing person and like just such a creator, such a positive person, an inventor, just a great, great man. And he was sick. Luckily, he lived 9 years somehow. Like all of the doctors were like, "This man, I don't know how he's surviving still," but 6 major surgeries, he lived 9 years. Uh, well, he knew that I had an opportunity to leave Marriott and that I wasn't super happy at Marriott, but it was just a good career because I was living on my own at that time. It was after the recession, my dad had lost everything, he couldn't work, right? And so my father, the last conversation that I had with him was at Hoag Hospital in Orange County, and I didn't know it was gonna be the last conversation. He always had surgeries. So this was, like, before his surgery. I talked to him, I was at the hospital, and he knew my opportunity to be a title rep, and he just said, "Dana, like, you're my daughter, take this leap, like, go be a title rep. Even if you don't love being a title rep, you will be okay. Like, you should go and leave corporate America, and you will be fine. You're my daughter, you have my blood, and I want you to be really happy." And so, I promised him I would, and then that was the last time I ever talked to him, and so, like, yeah, I'm so grateful that I had that conversation because truthfully, like, the beginning years of changing careers, and you and I have talked about this, like, I was at the top where I was, and then I had to, like, start from ground zero as we all do in something new, and there are so many times I question, like, my worth, my value, "Why would anyone work with me? I don't know what I'm talking about," and then I would just think of my father and be like, "Nope, I'm gonna go, I'm gonna talk to these people, I got this," and it was my momentum, my drive, my, like, why, my inspiration, so, like, to this day, if I have a hard day, I just, like, think of, like, him, and I'm like, "I got this," you know? So,
Oh,
yeah.
no, I'm, like, crying over here. That's just such a, like, multi-layered, meaningful story, and it is really true, like, if we kind of think about your dad as, like you said, your why, right? It becomes the why that makes you cry, and this idea that there are gonna be so many hard days. It
Mhm.
We all second guess the decision. When I got fired from my job unexpectedly, I immediately started to monetize my sales background by selling sales consulting to the industry I had spent 20 years in,
Love
but
that.
nonetheless, it was like everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh," and, like, 3 insanely exciting, rewarding, fulfilling, yet crazy, like, bottom of the barrel depressing days mixed in between. For me, you're kind of just like, you have to keep going. You have to keep putting one foot in front of the other, and you have to anchor, like you're talking about, you anchor to your dad. Like, we have to anchor to something that is so meaningful. And for me, it's like this ability that I am a killer sales rep. I know what I did in corporate America. I know what I did at Yellow Page Advertising. I know what I've done for myself. And so therefore I know I can do it in real estate.
Heck yes, girl. You got what it takes, 1000%. I have no doubt that you can
But
do it. Yeah. No.
thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's talk about the other thing that I know it's like a common thread for all of us, because you were saying, talk with me about those days where you were getting started, or like where you really had to put boots on the ground, where you really had to, like, well, in my world, say yes and figure it out, right? Like, what were some of those days like? Because that's the messy middle that, like, people, we don't think of that when we see you now. We see Dana, the social butterfly who knows everybody, right? But, like, what was the beginning like when you were getting your
Yeah.
footing?
I was pretty lucky, I do have to say that the gentleman who took me out for that half day, because the company had a budget thing where they couldn't just hire me on my own in that moment, which I found out later is because they got acquired 3 months later by another company, but he just knew I was gonna get a new job no matter what, like, and he's like, "You know what? I'm gonna make you my business partner." So I had a business partner when I started, not saying that that made things easier, but or easy, but it did make things a little bit easier for me. If you're getting into something new, it helped for me to have somebody to, just bounce ideas off and learn from. But still, it was something so new. I was still on my own a lot of the time. And when I would walk into an office or go to an open house, I mean, I was literally just trying to retain as much information as I could about the people that I was meeting. I wasn't even at that point trying to give like value of like information yet because I was learning still what title insurance was, but I was just trying to connect at that point, find out where they have missing holes, like who they are, who their family is, who they like to work with, and then find out what are challenges that they're having in their life, right? And what are challenges they're having in their job. And then I would come back and I would bring some type of value to them, even if it wasn't in that moment. And I just would take notes on everybody and their whole life. And like that became my memory was everything in my phone. And before I'd go back to an office, I'd look up that office and it'd have like 20 realtors and their whole background story that I'd obtained from speaking to them. And that's kind of how I like started out was just I knew I just needed to meet the people and like just build rapport and relationships. But it wasn't easy. I'd like have mild panic attacks before going in, and I love talking to people. But when you don't know a lot about what you're doing as far as like that industry, that was like really difficult mentally to think like, why would they work with me over the other people? And I was told that my value is me and that it's okay if I don't need know everything. And that's not how I used to operate. I'm like, let me learn everything first. And I'm just so grateful because it did come, my knowledge came with time, with experience. And I was
Yeah.
able to gain business just from relationships in the beginning, to be honest with you. So,
It does remind so in Say Yes and Figure It Out, which is one of my best-selling books, we've got a four-step simple framework for taking massive imperfect action, and it's decide, take a step, lean in, and celebrate. And I always say that you repeat that four-step cycle as many times a day, a week, a season as you need to in order to get over to accomplish your bigger goal. So your
mhm,
bigger goal was, "I'm gonna switch industries and become a title rep," right? But
mhm.
you can't wait to celebrate that at some arbitrary point in time. You were deciding every day to show up. You were taking notes. Like, even when I met you, I don't remember if it was, I thought it was like pen and paper, but like you were writing down a lot of things when we were having coffee. And I was like, in my head, I either mentioned something or just in my head, I was like, okay, this is just how she processes and like I mad respect, right? Because she probably treats every interaction the same. But in the micro moments, it was decide, take a step, and then lean in, right? Like lean back into your notes, lean back into help. And then it's the tiny little micro celebrations that neuroscience proves releases dopamine and like keeps us going every day when like life's
We all need those little hits of dopamine, and I've had several of them today too, and you never know when they're gonna hit, and it's so amazing when they do. So, yeah.
What are okay, so just to wrap up. So like this is all meant to be like a fun conversation with people in the industry and a platform for you to share your story and inspire others. I know you've already inspired others because first and foremost, whether they're in real estate or not, like you've transitioned industries completely and you took that leap of faith on your own despite some negativity and naysayers, etc. And then attaching to a why that makes you cry and then it's kind of like how you got started was like just showing up and meeting people and like admitting that you don't have all the answers. And that's going to draw people into you even more because nobody wants a know it all anyway. They're like, I don't know, but I will figure it out and I will get back to you. So are there any other lessons? Yeah, go ahead.
So I think that still to this day, I mean, it's been 9.5 years almost. I still don't know everything. That's what I love about our industry as a whole is we are always learning and growing. And I do have to say there were certain moments when I was like starting off in this industry where I would be nervous to ask, let's say like a realtor, right? Like they'd call and say, "Oh, I need help with this order." And I'm like, I'd be nervous just to ask it, "What's that address again?" Or "What was the problem again?" Or "Can you remind me what the situation was? I can't remember top of mind what the issue was that we talked about a few weeks ago." And I felt so nervous to ask. I thought they're gonna think that I'm like, not enough or I wasn't listening. And I have learned over time, like just ask, just be real. Don't try to be, just say what's on your mind. And the people that are gonna connect to you are gonna connect with you, and if you just ask, you're gonna find the answer quicker, you're gonna be able to move on, you're gonna be real, and there's just gonna be this connection, right? So, I think, like, if you're starting in something new, don't think about how they're gonna perceive you as much, right? Like, just be you and don't second guess like what your initial thought is of what you want to ask or what you want to say because I did that a lot and it put a lot of stress on me. I was such a people pleaser. I mean, I'm probably am still today, but not nearly as much as I used to be. And I would always worry that the things coming out of my mouth would not be what they want to hear. And I'm so glad I've gotten over that. Not fully, but I've progressed. And I would give that advice to new people in any realm of business we're communicating.
Anything. Like, seriously, it's so good because there's other, you know, not everybody suffers that, but so many people do. And that it's like, oh my gosh. I can just ask again. Like, can you I love that it was the simplest example of like what was the address again? Because you overcame maybe what was timid or like some like, oh my God. Yeah, the imposter syndrome, right?
Mhm.
And I love that you said I wasn't enough because that's just not that I love that, but right, you people this is what we feel like, "Oh, I'm not enough for this listing or for this client or for this thing," but people, they buy from, I put it in quotes, people that they know, like, and trust, and you build know, like, and trust so much more, even if you're not hard selling something, you build that by being yourself, by being authentic, and by being vulnerable. That especially in the day of AI, but this is 10 years ago, right? So nonetheless, like authenticity and vulnerability is what I believe is the glue that keeps people
And
like,
staying humble, definitely. Yes. I think all 3 of those things, authenticity, and that comes with time, I think sometimes too, right? Like, I think we believe we need to be a certain way or a certain person or dress a certain way, right? Like, I know when I started in this industry, my business partner wore a three-piece suit, and nothing against people who dress a certain way, right? But I felt like I kinda needed to mirror him, we're going out together, so I dressed how I used to dress at Fleming's even, like, I had my pencil skirts or, like, my really nice dresses, my high heels, and I remember I didn't feel like it was me, you know what I mean? Like, I can dress nice, but it didn't feel right. It felt very just stiff, I guess you could say. And I remember one day we were trying to get into this real estate office to become like the preferred vendors for title. And the broker looked at my business partner and he's like, if you ever wear that suit back here again, nobody's going to talk to you. Like, this is not how we roll. And it was kind of like one of those moments where some people are gonna love the three-piece suit, right? But others gonna connect. So it was like, just be you. Like, yes, like dress, be clothed, dress well, but you don't need to dress like to the T in order for people to respect you in business. And I truly believe like I am comfortable with what I wear and it makes me feel more confident. And I'm gonna have people connect with me that are more like me, right? And that are on that same like wavelength. And I know that sounds so small, but it really makes like a big difference, I believe.
yeah, well, let's talk about one of the weekly meetings that we see each other at, an in-person event, the Long Beach Broker Preview. And I have known about it. I've been on their email list for years because I've been licensed, right, since 2019. But I never, ever, ever went to a meeting. And I had, even though I too, I'm a connector and I know how to like say hi to people and sit down, I was nervous and had lots of imposter syndrome. And I don't remember what I wore the exact first meeting, but I was just talking to my friend last night, and I've been 6 times now as of the recording of this podcast, which is fun because it's, like, so few, right? But yet 6 times, and I was saying to him that I well, yesterday I did have on a dress because I was doing 2 open houses back to back, but it also wasn't like a dress. It was, like, what Kristin feels super chill in so that I can be my authentic self.
Mhm. I
And
love
I said, if I'm not doing that, 9 times out of 10, I'm wearing my black track pants, my black V-neck shirt that I wear every day. I purposefully wear my walking sneakers. And I know I wear that jean jacket a lot like you do, but because that signals to my brain that you're boots on the ground building your business and you're not spending all this time getting dressed for a 1 hour in-person meeting when you need to go out and physically walk around the neighborhood and hand out flyers and knock
yes.
on doors.
It'd be difficult to do that in, 4-inch heels, so
Yeah.
some people do it, I think, but no,
I think they do, and that's okay for them because if that's them.
yeah,
But I had to when I first started doing the door knocking, I really had to be like, "What's my outfit?" And I almost always wear my black, like, purpose hat. Like, that's it. I'm like,
love that conversation starter, yeah,
I don't care what neighborhood I'm in, like the Park Estates neighborhood, so the $4 million homes, or Los Altos, or Lakewood, or Gardena. It doesn't matter. I'm I now feel I'm like, "Oh, this" now I have, like, a uniform, like,
yeah.
some of those tech guys, right? But that's what you're talking about is now I'm authentic, now I'm vulnerable, now I am, like, my real true self. I'm not trying to be somebody I'm not, and so what shines through is my personality and my authenticity.
It's so much more fun and so much more fluid and like easier, quote unquote, to just be us, right? Like just be who we are and just show up as who we are and not try to be anybody that we're not. I truly 100% believe that. And it's become easier throughout the years. And I feel like even as the years come, it'll become, we'll just continue to be even more
Yeah.
ourselves and authentic because the longer you're in something more comfortable you are, the more you realize that people are connecting with you because of who you are. Just your soul, your value, right? Your ability to help people as well, but because of you. So that's been such a beautiful journey. And I'm so happy you wear your purpose hat, and your sneakers and whatnot. So yeah, I'm so excited for you. Like, I really truly am. The second I met you, I was like, she's amazing. She's gonna go
Uh,
far. Like, you're so easy to connect with, you listen so well to others, and you're always trying to support people around you too, so props to you, Kristen.
I can't wait. I'm like, I'm already thinking about for you. I'm thinking about a few fun things. A, what would a 10-year I'm entitled anniversary party look like for you? Wh- Like,
What
you
what
know, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, and what I I'm not trying to plan a thing.
maybe
You put ideas in your head, but it could be a 1-hour Zoom meeting. It could be a pop that pop by party that you invited me to for next week. It'd be like something like that. It could
yeah,
be like I don't
yeah.
it doesn't have to be like this big open house where you could bring everybody to your house and do wine and beer. Like, I don't know.
I don't know, honestly, I feel like I probably wanna reach out to the people that, like, have helped me since day one, you know what I mean? And just, like, truly, when I started in this industry, I everyone that gave me an opportunity, I'm like, I don't take this lightly. I am not gonna forget you. Like, I know you have a million options and that this isn't necessarily the easiest one to choose. So thank you, thank you, thank you. So I think like having those people that have helped me, especially since the beginning, like I'd want to reach out to them and just like, hey, I've been in it 10 years and you helped me in my career and allowed me, to become who I am today. So thank you for believing in me. And like, yeah, I mean, I'm kinda limited to what I can do as far as party-wise for others as a title rep, SB 133. I know, no button, but, like, the party planner over here, right? Uh, but I think that what I would do is I would just reach out to the people and just be like, "Thank you, like, thank you so much, like, I've been able to make it, and you are I'm nobody without the people that support me. I'm not, like, so not in this industry at all." So just
Yeah. No, I do, because 10 years is a big time, right? Like, it's and so it was 5 years, so it was 1 year, like and it is I was just talking to somebody else that we mutually know who was referring me to some agents who might need open house help, and, like, you've done the same for me, and just, like, how to give back ethically, right, and morally, and according to the governance and the standards that we all live by, no matter what job or industry we're in, right? But nonetheless, like, it is kind of one of those things where as a human you feel so compelled to acknowledge, hey, you were there for 1 week of this critical time, or you've been there since the beginning, and can you believe it, it's been 10 years. And then
yeah.
other times, yeah, go ahead.
And even the people, like, let's even say even the people, like, let's say we don't work together right now, even if maybe we worked at the beginning, like, to be honest with you, those people, I still wanna reach out to those people too that helped me even in the beginning. Like, it's truthfully, I don't take it lightly. I really don't. Like, there are so many people out there and people have so many options of who they can connect with, spend their time with, work with, partner with. So I think about that a lot, to be honest with you. And yeah, I mean, it would be fun to have a party too.
Well, it was you who was like, for our like annual Long Beach Marathon, you were like, oh my gosh, turn it into a thing.
Oh, yes, girl, on your end, heck yes, like, you're able to do that, like, yes, let's go. Like, I love that. Long Beach Marathon,
Well,
how do you make it all about yes.
I that yeah, oh, it's so fun, like, yeah, it's just so fun. It's so fun. It's so fun to think about that, because for those of you watching, like, the Long Beach Marathon, it goes by my house, down and back, so it's really cool because we hand out waters, we have a taco guy, we blast all this music, everybody comes over at, like, 6 in the morning, and I joke with people, it's my ex-husband's favorite holiday, in quotes, because it's obviously not a holiday, but he's for I don't know how many years, 5, 6, 7 years, this is his favorite thing to plan, and
I love that. I can't wait for it to all happen again and to hopefully be a part of it and see it take place. It's going
oh,
to be amazing.
well, yeah, whether it's a Zoom like this or a podcast, for example, or just a thank you note to somebody or a party, I think the bigger message here is it's always good to give back. And
Mhm.
give back can be a simple thank you so much, Dana, for being on the podcast to a handwritten note to something else. But
I'm a huge handwritten note girl. So I have kept every card I've ever received since I was like 4 years old. So I have kept them all and I still do. So yeah, I know it's really weird, right? But my daughter, she collects hers now because I collect mine. And I give thank you cards just to so many people. Like yes, I write at least 25 cards, 30, 35 cards, maybe 40 a month. Like I'm a card person. I think like I don't think enough people are acknowledged for the things that they do. And some people might think it's silly, but so many people are appreciative of just like that extra time to just acknowledge and say thank you more than just like a text, or an email. So I'm a
if you're
believer.
not, oh my god, no, no, hold on. Okay, we'll wrap up after this, but if you're not watching, if you're only listening, my jaw is on the floor because that is first of all, my kids, and I'm always like, "Yeah, but we're moving, but we have no space, but I keep nothing." And my 7-year-old is starting to be like, "Mom, why are you throwing like this out?" And I'm
I
like,
saw that.
so now the house is like decorated in some of their stuff, but not all of their stuff, and we don't keep it. So you're kind of inspiring me at that level. I just wanted you to know, like that was first why my jaw was on the ground, but because how cool would it be to look back through all your cards? Oh my gosh.
Well, my
But
mom got divorced, right, when I was, like, 4. I have cards after my parents' divorce, they chose the same exact, like, Hallmark card for my birthday, like, for Christmas, and I'm like, "H these out of, like, the 100 different cards, they chose
especially
the
back
same
then.
one." And I'm like, "Isn't that" I don't know, it's kinda funny. And you just see all the things people write about, to you back in the
I'm
day.
like, I'm so sad I don't have anything. I have nothing. And then not only that though, but like the practice of writing thank you, that's 100% a lost art. And what do? Physically put them in the mail or do you
Oh,
hand them?
yeah. Oh, yeah. I've got, like, literally a stack, like, ready to go. So, yeah, no, I am
Oh,
always I never stop. It's, like, something I do yeah, I've been doing it for a very long time. I continue to. So, there's certain people that get a lot of cards. I don't know if they all keep them, but some of them I get a lot of thank yous and a lot of appreciation from them. Some probably appreciate them more than others, but it makes me feel good to hopefully make them feel good, you know? So, you might get one soon.
I can't wait. I can't wait. Yeah. I'm like fishing for it now. I'm like, Kalia, how do I get on that list?
Oh my gosh. I always get excited when I find cute ones at the store now. But yeah, I think it's like just the idea of like not forgetting people, making people feel seen, making people feel heard, acknowledging them. We're all in such a go, 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 go era in life. And we're just bombarded with like messages and technology. And it's just like the physical act of having to like hold something and like open it is just, it becomes more rare. So it becomes more valuable, I think,
Oh
over
my
time.
gosh. Okay. Okay. To wrap up, I have an ask. Are
Yeah,
you ready?
I'm ready.
Well, I have a year-long mentorship mastermind where I coach people on just like how to grow business and how to do sales and how to show up online authentically and vulnerably. And if you're open to it, we would love to have you come in. We meet every other Tuesday for just like one time here in the future and
Yeah.
talk to us as a guest speaker on the strategy and tactics and the art and science and like because your face is lighting up from the inside out, like I can tell that it brings you joy to give and to help people feel seen. And I was like part of send out cards
Oh,
way
me too, girl. It was
right, and like some
fun.
people have no idea. Yeah, so I get it, and then I just never did it, right? And so I'm super inspired by this, and because I was like, how do we turn this into a webinar? How do we turn this into a training? But I don't want to overwhelm you because that's like
Happy to
that's just
help.
like stuff that
I'm
I love.
happy. Yeah,
But
no,
yeah,
I'm happy to do that. I think people get overwhelmed and don't finish it, or they get the idea, or they buy the cards and then they don't send them out, or they sign up for send out cards, but then it's too expensive. I'm like, no, start small and grow from there, and then see how people feel about it once you send them out, and how you feel after you hear how they feel, and then you'll keep doing it. Like it's just, yeah, it's something so small that you can do, and almost everybody can do it in whatever they do in life. Even if it's to, like, your friends, let's take it out of even, like, the business
Right?
context, just, like, people that you know and people that you love. I mean, it
Your
makes
uncle that you don't ever see, your aunt and uncle that live, like, yeah, like Dana, I'm like, "Yes! Oh, this is so fun." Did you have fun chatting
I
with
had
me?
so much fun. Oh my gosh, this is great. I'm like, we could talk forever. So this was so much fun. Thank you so much. You're so good at, like, moderating too. You're such a great listener too. Love it.
Alright, well, we'll link your stuff, like, wherever you want us to follow you, it'll be in the show notes wherever they're listening or watching this podcast, and I'll talk to you about coming into our mastermind and just hanging out with us for an hour about this because this is so fun.
I
Thank
would
you
love
so much.
that. I'd love to meet the rest of your mastermind too. So that sounds amazing. Yeah. Sign me up, girl. Thank you so much.
Alright, I'll see you
See you.
later. Thank you.
Bye.